My Tacoma just hit 35,000 miles. I want to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I broke on my truck in those miles. The list is short, but I have a couple things I want to talk about. I was hoping there wouldn't be anything on this list because it is a Tacoma, but I'm kind of an unlucky guy. So hopping into this, we're going to start with number one. The first thing that broke on my Tacoma was the rear shock. It actually broke around 20,000 miles. I can't tell you why it broke because at the time I really wasn't even like doing the stuff that I do with the truck now. I didn't even notice it until I went to go upgrade the suspension to the Bilstein 5100s when I came back here and realized, oh, that shock is blown out. And maybe that's why I was really unhappy with the way the sport suspension was set up. It just doesn't feel very good. So if you're running stock sport suspension, I recommend changing it out because it's really not good and apparently really weak, because I broke it and I was basically daily driving the truck at that point. A funny story going into that is I actually had a Toyota Care about, I want to say maybe not even 1,000 miles before I upgraded the suspension. If you don't know anything about Toyota Care, when you buy Toyota, you get kind of maintenance done to it every 5,000 miles for free. You get an oil change every 10,000 and some tire rotation and an inspection every time. So I took it there and nobody even noticed that the shock was blown. It doesn't really take a genius to see when you're underneath the truck all the grease and stuff that exploded from that shock because it was covering the entire thing. So you can really notice when it was messed up. I didn't notice it because at the time I had no reason to be underneath the truck because brand new truck, why would I be looking at things like that? But yeah, I went to go upgrade my suspension, realized that was blown, and it just made me laugh. The next thing that broke my Tacoma actually happened in the front here shortly after lifting it. I noticed a vibration. It's actually gotten worse over time. That vibration you can feel in the gas pedal, and it comes at random times. You get a vibration here, vibration here. So it's not like a constant vibration, like a rotating thing. It's just kind of random. Looking into it, it's actually the needle bearing in the front here. It's a very common issue. Some stock Tacomas go bad, but it becomes a much bigger issue once you start lifting the Tacoma up because it increases that angle and increases the pressure on that needle bearing. Toyota just did a bad job. It's a weak point in the truck. So I just recommend changing it when you do the front diff fluid, because I just changed the front diff fluid. Now I got to pull the axle, pull that bearing out, and lose all that fluid I just put in it. So I really just should have went ahead and did that before I changed the front diff fluid there. But live and learn, I guess. So that's the second thing that broke my Tacoma. The next issue I want to talk about isn't really an issue with the truck, but kind of my suspension choice. So I'm running the Bilstein 5100 in the front, and in the rear, after I do some wheeling for a while and the suspension gets warm up in the front, I get like a really annoying squeak. I mean, it's annoying. And I originally thought that it was the control arm bushings, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I believe because I'm running the TRD off-road springs in the front, the TRD off-road springs aren't really made to run the settings I have on the Bilstein 5100 right now. So the ride quality lacks there. I turned it down a little bit. It's not maxed out, but they're still not really meant to run it. So if you're going to run Bilstein 5100s, definitely look at changing out the coil spring. I know a lot of people run the TRD off-roads or the stock springs, but I don't recommend doing that. Get a specific spring for your setup. Actually, I think the Ironman 4x4 spring looks pretty good. So if I would redo this and run the Bilstein 5100s, I would actually put that coil spring on. But because I'm changing out the whole suspension here, it doesn't really matter. I like the Bilstein 5100. They've been great for like a daily driver and a weekend warrior type thing, but I just want a little bit of softer ride when I'm out there, a little bit more travel. So we're going to be switching out that setup, and I'm going to be changing out the upper control arms as well. That's for a different video though. But yeah, I wanted to make note of that. Kind of annoying. The last issue I want to talk to you guys about has been an issue since I bought the truck. I'm curious if any of you guys have this issue and you ignored it like I did. When I picked this truck up, I originally came from sports cars. So when I was test driving it, I had it in the mindset that, you're going to feel some things. It's not going to handle like a sports car. It's not going to be as tight and smooth. So I actually had a vibration going on in the truck when I test drove it. And I just assumed, it's a truck. That's how it's going to be. But after a while, in driving other people's Tacomas, I don't think mine's supposed to do that. So basically, there's a vibration throughout the truck. It happens between like 60 and 70. It happened on stock tires, it happened on stock lift. It's just always been an issue with the truck. And it got better when I switched to the Bilstein 5100s because that suspension was soaking up a little bit better. And also I had that broken shock in the back that was replaced. But I still kind of have that vibration to the point where like my passenger seat, on the interstate and at like high, like, 60 miles an hour, around that speed, if you look at the passenger seat when no one's in it, it's sitting there vibrating. I have a feeling I'm gonna probably take a look at either the rear diff or something back here in the drive shaft. I'm not too mechanical when it comes to that stuff. I have a rough idea and I can talk about it, but fixing it is a whole nother story. So I might have to take the truck to like a drive shaft specialist to check the angles and make sure something's not tweaked, because I really don't think the truck should be vibrating like that. But let me know in the comments, guys, if your truck vibrates and if you're okay with it, if you just come to live with it. I'm just curious because personally, it annoys me, but it's not annoying enough to go out of my way and try to fix and discover what this vibration is. Just curious. But yeah, I wanted to mention that because it's happened in stock form, it's happened in the truck how it is now. It actually got a lot better when I added the weight to the bed of the truck as well. I noticed that it's gotten a lot better since I've owned it and put some weight in the back here. So I'm definitely thinking it's dealing with the angles of the drivetrain. But that's a long story about a vibration issue. Sorry, I kind of drug that out a little bit. One more thing I forgot to mention. In the front here, the stupid oil canister thing. I hate changing the oil in this truck, by the way. I think it's stupid. I hate it. I miss the old way to change oils. But anyways, the little tabs, little plastic tabs on the oil filter or oil canister housing, I broke one of those. Kind of a user error, but yeah, super annoying. I hate that. Other than that, after 35,000 miles, that's all I've had issues with at all. No check engine lights, nothing really going on there. It's been a great truck. I'm happy with it. I know I kind of seemed a little bit negative in this video talking about the issues, and hopefully the Toyota fanboys don't come knocking down my door because I'm actually talking about issues with the truck. But I do still love the truck and I don't really hate it. It's just some of the things are kind of annoying, especially that needle bearing. Really bad design by Toyota. If you guys like this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. I've been super busy lately. I haven't had a day off. I think this is like my 22nd day working straight, and I had to go into this weekend. And then I'm going to be on normal schedule again, be able to make some content for you guys. I'm excited about lots of things happening. Very busy. Can't wait to show you guys. Thanks for watching. Check out this video right here. It's pretty good. I'll see you in the next one.